Grunge TV.
Okay, we are on Soy Chok D near Param 4 and Sukhumvit 24, and we're in the rehearsal studios with Plague Pits. First of all, guys, we saw you at the show last Saturday before last, and first of all, I want to ask about the name Plague Pits. It's kind of topical, but you invented the name before the pandemic.
Yeah, we kind of got ahead of the curve. I think it was one of those cases of just by chance I was watching one of those documentaries about old London on YouTube, and it's something that had kind of come up. I think one of my friends was talking about, because of the Crossrail, the new Crossrail network through London.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, because of the excavations, a lot of excavations in London. So they were unearthing a lot of new ones. So I think that was in the news at that time, about 2018, early 2018, about 4 years ago. There was a lot of talk about them finding a lot of plague pits, from the plague where these bodies have been buried, and a lot of them were in like very central locations, across like King's Cross in London and Victoria as well. And then I went down a rabbit hole really with all these documentaries, and then the name just kind of popped up. I was like, that's going to work. Yeah.
Who was to know how topical it would be?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, it wasn't that long afterwards, really. And I have a thing for, I think, P. Yeah, Panic Star. I've had a lot of bands with P, just for absolutely no reason. I think it's just the fact that it's first letter that kind of comes into my head sometimes. With favourite bands as well, it's normally P or S, like Pearl Jam, Soundgarden. Public Image. Pink Floyd, Pixies, to be honest, those are some of my favourite bands. So it sounds really childish, but actually sometimes you have a letter in your head that is your, not necessarily favourite letter, but it seems to be your favourite letter for whatever reason, right? Because of music or names you've grown up with, right? Family names or your own name or something egotistical, basically, right? That you try and spin to make yourself sound better. I just thought it was a really cool sounding name, but then I was kind of a bit aware of the fact that with a name like Plague Pits, you kind of have to live up to that name a little bit in a way, and you almost can't be a pop band with a name like
can't
Plague
be too
Pits.
Happy.
Yeah, exactly. You can't be too happy.
Can't be too poppy.
Can't wear too many bright colours, I think, and dance around too much. Less reds.
Yeah.
Or the red blood colour, I don't know. But so immediately as soon as I had that name Plague Pits, I was like, we may have shot ourselves in the foot a little bit, because you've got to live up to that a little bit,
Well, hence the masks, I guess.
Yeah, so I thought, in that sense, and then after that I thought, okay, we have to now go like whole hog in a way, and make it a bit more of an act, actually. And we haven't done that enough, unfortunately. It's something we need to work on and do, and we do it sometimes, but it's often myself that forgets to bring a mask, or To be honest, it's not these two. It's normally me that forgets to either tell people to bring a mask or forgets my own mask. But when we do, obviously, when we do wear the full outfits and the masks, it feels better. It feels like an act, a show. You know, it feels like a show rather than just playing music, a performance.
Unfortunately, they steam up pretty quickly. And
yeah, they're just really hard
to see what you're trying to aim at.
They were probably made of a different material originally. I'm not sure, but what would go in the beak, the nose originally would be stuffed with
herbs, right?
herbs
and
spices to cover up the smell of death. But there's nothing.
Which
There's
apparently
nothing.
made no difference.
Nothing
No,
in his
nothing in
beak.
these. Yeah.
Just like these masks make the COVID mask make
Chunk
no
of
difference.
hash, put a chunk of hash in there.
Oh, yeah. Next one, I'll build a special.
Well, it's legal now.
A special smoking hole, special smoking. Maybe a little hole there or
metal
something.
tray.
Yeah, shout out to Chris for making these masks, and Matthew Fisher of Fatties.
Yeah.
And Matthew, as we all know, Matthew in Bangkok, the famous Matthew Fisher. He's made me a couple of custom masks as well. Plastic, well, say plastic, but yeah, non-leather. Because I
Kind of
don't
latex.
Yeah, I don't wear leather, so I'm against leather. So these guys are free to wear leather, but I try not to as much as possible. So yeah, I've got a custom one made by Matt, which is fantastic, but it still needs a bit more customization because it's very hard to sing with it on. So that's our thing at the moment.
You get like one song.
Yeah,
maybe
we get
two
one
songs,
song out and then it
that's
just becomes a little bit
uncomfortable.
We need a bit more muscle memory. That will help as well, I think. You know, the more comfortable you are playing live, the more
you can't
don't
really
worry.
see what you're doing.
Yeah, you shouldn't need to in a way, right? It's one of those things. So yeah, we've got a lot of stuff that we're kind of working on, trying to flesh out.
So where are you guys from originally? I know Chris and myself spoke about Lewisham and then Blackheath, which put me down the rabbit hole of researching Blackheath for the Plague Pits, because as a kid I was told, the reason it was so lumpy as we was walking over it is because it's full of dead bodies. But then I researched it and they said no, that was an urban myth.
Oh, really?
I
Blackheath
think by the name
wasn't.
Blackheath, right?
Yeah, it goes back to
Before
like 1666 was the big one.
Okay.
But it goes back to like 10 something.
Right.
The name Black.
Yeah.
It refers to like a berry that grew there or something rather than the. But that I'm straying from the course. But so you're both from London?
Yeah.
Originally?
Well, I was born in Sutton.
Okay.
Sutton,
So
borough.
Croydon.
Borough. Croydon. Yeah. So the famous Croydon. Both of them get a bit of a bad reputation actually. I think Sutton and Croydon because they're kind of. They're on the edge. Yeah, they're new towns on the edge of London, and they've got that kind of. They have that jealousy of people that are from actually, central London, and that kind of jealousy of living in central London, So people from Croydon.
South of the river, though.
South of the river,
mate.
People from south of the river generally have a bit of a chip on their shoulder, I'd say. A lot of us do have a chip on our shoulder about.
Well, because the taxi drivers from north won't take you south of the river after a night out in the West End.
But yeah, I grew up playing in bands around Croydon, just doing kind of indie kind of gigs for a long time, and never really getting very far really. We played a lot of art rock actually, I guess I'd call it. I started off playing kind of stuff like like Devo stuff. Like Devo style, and a band that was really popular at the time called Art Brutes, and they were kind of like a niche band. They were
This would have been 90 something.
Yeah, 98, 99. I'm trying to think. probably know them if you heard them. But yeah, I started off playing kind of like I was trying to be a bit of a hipster. Yeah, we're doing very art rock and avant-garde kind of stuff. We didn't really get very far, unfortunately.
You were both playing together in...
No, Chris.
When I was 13, I left Surrey.
Okay.
Before I started playing drums, and moved out to Gloucestershire. I had my first 2 or 3 bands there, notably the Lemons. If anybody ever heard of them, they were mental, like punk. And then I moved to London in '84, and then had a few bands in London. And then in '96 moved out to Korea, where I had a few bands out there, none of which did any particularly good. Then moved here and been messing around here for a few years until I joined up with Plague Pits, which is the first band that I've actually gigged with apart from we did do a 1 or 2 sort of open mics with a mishmash of people lurking around.
So we've been in a real plague the last, 3 years. So now things are opening up again. How would you describe the music scene in Bangkok? Like post-COVID?
Yeah.
Well,
It's still quite early.
People have been
quite early.
People are a little bit nervous still, a bit tentative, I think, The shows are kind of filling up though. Shows are filling up slowly, right? But I think people, things are definitely, things were kind of changing, I think, in Bangkok, like before COVID. As in, there used to be a bit more of a kind of mix of genres and scenes, and nowadays there isn't so much of a mix of scenes, more events are a bit more kind of tailored. Okay, this is an EDM event, or this is a rock, this is punk, this is metal, and there used to be a lot more kind of crossover, and also with Thai and foreign bands. Like when I first came here, like Fatty's, for example, was the place to go where you could be in a Farang band but then meet 10 Thai bands, and then within the space of a night you've sorted out a few shows, okay, right, we got 4 bands here, let's do a show. And it was all very maybe because we're younger, I don't know, it's like, as you always think what's changed, but of course people get older and things change as you get older, right? The way you do things, I guess, changes as you get older. But I'm not saying it was better, but it was very different. As in, everything was a bit more DIY, everything was a bit more, I wouldn't say friendlier, but maybe less competitive. I think Bangkok has become maybe it's a good thing, a bit more competitive. Bands are a little bit more competitive now with each other. They're not as willing to, maybe it isn't as friendly. I'm not saying there's any animosity with people, but I think before it was a bit more, there was Thais and Farangs mixing, and no one really worried too much about anything really other than putting on a good show. And now it's become a bit more serious.
I wonder if that's a good thing.
Before I joined you, I'd only played in doing covers here with various different people. And of course, if you're going to be a covers band, the places where you're going to try and want to get is down on the tourist spots, but they're probably taken up by the Thai bands anyway. So you really want to be doing your original stuff, I think.
I think that's part of it. I think you're right in a way, thinking about that, originals and covers. I guess like 10, 20 years ago, it was like when you think of people playing music in Bangkok, you immediately think of cover bands, right? Rather than original bands, or like
classic rock.
Right, or like bands coming to Thailand and playing.
Well, it'd be the Filipino band playing Hotel California in the Roadhouse,
and that's
or
where
Zombie.
People have that. I guess still have that. And I guess, but I think people are moving away from that now. Of course, that stuff still happens, and there's a place for that. There's nothing wrong with it. But I guess maybe it was kind of like Bangkok was saturated with that, and Thailand in a way was kind of saturated with that. And I think 10 or 15 years ago it was a bit harder to get a foot in as an original band. Now, I guess now the flip side is
You got Speaker Box, you've got Jam, you have. Fatties, obviously.
Brownstone doing
Brownstone.
well again.
That's, yeah, 4,
So
5 original live music venues in the city. So
they've been going for about 10 years each of them. And Bangkok Island, Bangkok Island,
The boat, and the overstay.
Yeah, we talked about the overstay actually.
That was the one for me. My first proper gig in Bangkok was on that boat.
Yeah, we had a good show on the boat. Yeah,
I was there.
That's right.
I was a bit nervy for that.
Oh, we were really nervous, and also it didn't help that I think I gave everyone mushrooms and all kinds of stuff that night. Yeah. It was one of those things where there was all kinds of...
I didn't want to drink too much before I played. When we
Yeah.
finished playing, I'll go, right now I'm going to get drunk and run out of beer.
Before edibles, I shouldn't really say this, should I really? Before edibles were legal, it was like there was big plates of edibles going around that party.
The helium, some kind of balloons were going around.
And the balloons as well.
Oh,
So we got quite wasted, unfortunately, before we started playing, which made us a bit more nervous, which probably didn't help. But that was good. That was really good fun. Yeah, we love those kind of shows.
Top deck, if you weren't paying attention, you're likely to get hit in the head by a stray skateboard.
But even I remember a lot of people were standing around that top deck watching us, as in like rather than actually coming down. And at the time I couldn't understand. I was like, why didn't people come down? But actually the sound was really good from up above, looking down, than actually being on the floor itself. So we love those kind of shows. So I think Bangkok now is, I think the flip side is it's probably easier as an original band to get shows and to get a bit more recognition and a bit more respect, I guess. But it's still a little bit hard, I think, in some ways. As in it.
I think the thing is, I compare it with like other scenes like comedy and if you're an expat and you're here, you can't go on a tour. You can't tour Thailand and like do Nakhon Ratchasima, Surin, maybe
hard.
Chiang Mai, maybe Phuket or somewhere. But
a few places, right?
You always do Pattaya Bike Week.
Pattaya Bike Week, we're hopefully going to do Pattaya Bike Week in February.
That's a big crowd.
It's
like
we're
5,000 or something.
We're hoping to do that because it's one of those things I've seen it for a few years happening. I'm like, wouldn't mind, So hopefully this or next year we'll get onto that.
We've all got to buy a Harley each.
We've got to pretend we know about bikes. I don't really know much about bikes anymore. But,
get a good custom Plague Pits one.
I should get some logos made up.
Plague Pits MC.
Yeah, that's it.
Motorcycle Club.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. What's next for you?
So we've got jams on the 29th, and then we're going to do some recording. Actually, we were actually supposed to book some recording in with Brownstone soon.
COVID keeps getting in the way, doesn't it? How's it in the past?
We keep on. It's one of those things. Everything gets delayed, unfortunately, and then there was a bit of a backlog at Brownstone. But we're going to record. We need to record. We've got a few new songs, and we haven't really. We've got one demo EP from a long while back, which is good, but they're with different drummer, different bassist. So that was from pre-COVID. So the only recorded material we have studio is pre the new lineup. Plague Pits have been through quite a few lineups. We've been through quite a few lineups. Just from
more gigs, live recording or studio recording, merchandising. Start selling the masks.
Start making a bit more of an effort with stuff like that. Actually, we did well. Like Chris did really well with stickers and lighters, keychains. So it's just we just need to push things a bit more. We're just really happy now. We got those bars that are still running, right? Brownstone, Jam, Fatties, Speaker Box. We're just grateful that those are still going because they've been mainstays for, or 3 of them for nearly 10 years, right? Speaker Box is a decade, and they all do an amazing job, really.
Okay, awesome. So you can catch these guys. This video is going to go out before the 29th. I'm pretty sure it's the 11th today, isn't it? So Jam 29th of July.
Come down to Jam.
Come see Plague Pits.
29th of July, thank you.
Okay, cheers, boys.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers. I had to.
Strange TV.